Hello everyone, welcome to the GraphQL and Node tutorial. So basically, if you watch the whole video, then I'll guarantee you'll learn like how to use GraphQL. I'll go like side by side how you do in API and how you do in GraphQL. So just watch the video and you'll know. So let's just get started. So what is GraphQL? It's a query language for API. So like for query language, like you have multiple APIs. So it's a query language for API. It's not a database query language. That's the most important part. People think like GraphQL interacts with database. No, GraphQL doesn't interact with database. Like database part is done by your Node, Express or Python, whatever language you are using, and the way you were doing before only the way you'll do this time also, because GraphQL is not a database language. It has nothing to do with database. As I said, like there is nothing common between, like there is not a single line of connection between GraphQL and database. It acts as a middleware between client and server. It acts, like I told you, acts as a middleware between client and server, like client and server uh, middleware, like type of multiple requests in single API. Like suppose you want to fetch three different APIs, so you can do it in one single API, that is GraphQL API, and it has only one endpoint. So like you have, like suppose slash GraphQL www.example.com/GraphQL. This endpoint will be used for everything: fetching, updating, posting, getting multiple user data, fetching everything, just a single API. So let me show you structure. So client requests from the GraphQL, which is based on the server, running on server. Then server interacts with database and gets the data. Like as I told you, server interacts with the database. Server responds to the server, like database responds to the server responds to GraphQL, and GraphQL send back to client. Like this is the structure how it works. Now suppose you want to fetch user. See, so you will say example.com/user. If you want to fetch post, you say example.com/post. If you want to fetch id, you'll say example.com/id. If you want to fetch update it, so you'll say example.com/update. But in GraphQL, it will be a single API always: GraphQL, 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 GraphQL. So this GraphQL can be anything like USA, United States, India, whatever you feel like, but GraphQL is the standard. So let us look out the typical requests we make with the API and GraphQL. So in API we request like this /users. So suppose, and we get a response like this: an object name, age and country. But in GraphQL we request like this. But I told you we have a single API. So this single API is set once. Like we just pass it in the, like when we do the configuration of GraphQL, we just pass this URL. After this, to request we do like this: we say query for reading the data. Then we'll say users is like your mongoose model, what the model you built. So basically I'm fetching from that model. Basically it's not always model, whatever thing you wanna make it, but 90% of the time, suppose it's a user's model. From there I want to fetch name and age. Here you have to pass. So I'll get name and age only. That's the biggest difference between API and GraphQL, because in API I'll get whole part. In this, if I write whatever I need, so if I write only name, I'll get only name. Okay, that's the biggest difference. So there are two things in GraphQL: mutation and query. Query is basically for reading as written, like fetching the data and reading. Mutation for update, create and delete. So you will mutation whenever you want to update, create or delete. So let's just start with the coding part. So let me open the terminal and install few libraries. npm install express, uh yeah, then GraphQL, then express dash GraphQL, then nodemon to auto reload, and that's it. I think so. Yeah, that's it. We needed it. So it will install in a second. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Okay, it's done. So let me open it with code, Visual Studio Code. So whatever you wanna use, you can use it. Okay, so okay, I think I made the in drive only, not in a folder. So let me just make a folder called tutorial. Okay, now so I can just close this and copy this into this. Now it's better. Okay, so now we'll open cmd, we'll say code there. Okay, sorry, code dot, yeah. So now is everything okay? So we'll make a file here firstly in tutorial. So we'll say index.js. So whatever file you wanna name it, you can. So let's make it the server. We'll say request express, then we'll say constant equals to require. Here we'll say GraphQL, then we'll say constant, here we'll say require express GraphQL, and here we'll make the app equals to express. Okay, so let me just import few things. So we'll say build schema, and here we'll import GraphQL HTTP. So basically build schema is used for the way we'll fetch the data, as I shown you in the like how will the fetch the data, what will the data structure, object structure will be like. So that's what build schema is used for. And GraphQL HTTP is used for running the server. So basically it's just for running the server with the help of Express. So it's one time like configuration done, like, and after that you are good to go. So let me just start the server. So for starting server, we say app.use, and here whatever endpoint we make, so I'll make GraphQL because that's the standard. Then we'll say GraphQL HTTP, and here we'll pass some parameters like object. So we'll say GraphQL. So make sure it's GraphQL, not GraphQL. Like I made a lot of time mistake writing it GraphQL. So make sure it's GraphQL and you make it true. Then you say schema, okay, comma. Then you have to pass the schema and you will say schema. So schema is not defined still, like we have to define the schema. Then we'll say root value and we define the root. So here we have to define the root. So we'll define the root also. And how do we run it? So we'll say app.listen like normal, and we'll say 4000, and we'll make a function out of it and say console.log up and running port 4000. Okay, it's like normal everything, nothing much, like normal everything. So now this is the schema. We have to define the schema. That's the main point. So how we define the schema? Firstly, make a normal endpoint. Suppose if I say app.use and this is the base URL, and take request comma response, and here I'll say rest.send hello world. So suppose this is the base URL and we are responding hello world. Okay, so not base, let me write it like hello. So when we go to this URL hello, it will respond a string called hello world. Not the same thing we have to do in GraphQL. So let me just firstly run it and show you. I'm commenting it because schema and root is not defined. Save it, open, what's this, okay, and we'll say node mon index.js private allow access. Yeah, so if I go to localhost port 4000/hello, so hello API is responding me hello world. Now the same thing we'll do with the GraphQL. So how we'll do it? Don't say, yeah. So what we'll say, now we have to define this schema for the hello. So we'll say const hello, and then we'll say no const hello, no, firstly we'll say const schema, not hello, const schema equals to build schema. Now we have to build the schema. Now it's a query, so what will say? Type query, because I told you query is used for reading and mutation is used for updating, create and deletion. So in query we'll say hello. So suppose hello is the name of our API, so here we use hello, so that's why we are just writing hello is the name of our API. If you want to access our API using GraphQL, just write hello. And here I have to tell what type of response will I give. It will be a integer, like 24 is an integer. Will it be a string, object? So currently hello world is a string, so you can see I'm returning a string. Hello world is a string, so I'll write string, just respond as string. Now comes the other part, but it will come here and check, okay, we have to respond string, but where is the string? So here root value we call it resolvers. Here we call it resolvers. So resolvers are used for whatever query you have will solve it. So we'll say const root, and then we'll say equals to what is the name of the function hello, API name. So we'll make a hello function, and like this, and here we'll return hello world. Okay, so like this. So now it's done. We have told, okay, whenever someone come to hello, reply should be string hello, and reply should, and hello function come to hello function and return hello world. Okay, so let me just save it and check whether it's running. Okay, some error. Body must be a string. Received body must be a string. Okay guys, we have to pull this build schema in brackets. I just forgot that. So okay, this whole build schema part will be inside brackets, and this, yeah, and inside that we'll put like this, what do you call, backsticks or whatever. So let's just save it and check. Okay, it's up and running, everything's fine. Now this is the hello world running. Now our like GraphQL is running on /GraphQL. So we'll say localhost port 4000 /GraphQL. See, now here we write our strings, like queries, and here we get the response. Let me just delete it. So we have a query, not okay. So with them open two curly braces, and what is the query? I want to query this hello, and if I just write hello and run it, and we'll get with hello world. So you can access it dot data dot hello, and you will get the return as hello world. And here you can define that. No, you can't. Okay, yeah. So if you run, you will get the hello world. Okay, so now comes the next part, is like, suppose you want to send some data from the front end, okay, and show that. So for that we'll make another query, and we'll say welcome message. So welcome message, I want to take two data from front end, so I'll take a name, and name should be all string, so name should come as a string, and one more input I'll take, and that should be age should be integer. Okay, and what response I'll give a string. So normal, it's the API name welcome message. Suppose, let me remove this API because it's none of use. So welcome message is the API name, and the data we'll get with the welcome message is name and age, and response should be string. And if I come here, we'll have to make something called welcome message here also, welcome message, and here we have to write that argument we are receiving. So we just write args, normal arguments, and then yeah, like this, and then we'll do like this, and we'll say return Now here we'll return a string because I told you I'm returning a string. So I'll return not like this. Let me return like this. So we'll say dollar name is, and we'll say dollar args dot name, and we'll say and age is dollar args dot age, and we'll just save it. If we go to front, we'll reload it because it will auto complete now. So we'll say welcome. So see, it's auto completing. Now here we are providing two things, name and age. So name will say Zeno, and in age we'll say 22. Now but they has, because it's showing a error because int cannot be received as non-integer value. So because I told you we are receiving here integer, so that's why showing error. So now we have to make it a string. And now if we hit it, see now two queries we are making at the same time, hello and welcome message. In hello we get hello world, in welcome message we get name is Zeno and age is 22. See, name is Zeno and age is 22 because it's coming here, we are receiving name and integer. Then in welcome message we are receiving the arguments and we are responding with that arguments, name and age. So that's the way you do it. Now comes the object part, because you will be dealing with objects, you will not be responding with like, what do you say, string only. We will be responding objects because that's the main concept. Okay, so for that, another API or query. So for that we'll say get users. So we'll say get user. So now we have to define the object type. So like I told you, we wrote string here, so you will be like, why can't we just write object here? Because there are some limitations or whatever, so parameters we follow, because objects can be of any type. See, objects can have, like, suppose let me show you, objects can have one key, two key, and then they have like three key, four key. Like they can have multiple keys and values, you don't know, like 1,000 keys or multiple arrays. So we have to define the object type here, like what will our object type look like. So that will be returning us, so that will be return. So we'll say our object will look, right, is user. So user, suppose user is a mongoose model, so we build mongoose model in mongodb, suppose that's our user. So but we have to define it somewhere now, so here we'll define that schema. So we'll say type user. So user is a type, okay, and inside it we'll have a name, and name will be a string. Suppose we are building a model like mongodb model, and then we'll have a age, that will be a int. Then we'll have a college, that will be a, what will be a college string, yeah. And now we'll say get user will respond to this object. Okay, now we have to build it here also because it will come here directly. So now here we'll make get user, and we'll do like this, and we'll say return. Now we have to return the object. So for object returning, we'll say, we'll just copy it, this part. Instead of string we'll say Zeno 24 IUL. Okay, so that's our object. So we are returning a normal object as defined here, names, age, string, college, name, age, college. So suppose this is what here we are telling, okay, this is what this, okay, here I'm telling I return a string, here I'm telling I return this object, but you can't define object here like this, very much messy. So we'll say object will be look like this. And okay, so let me just do and save it, go here, and if we can remove this, that'd be better. So now we'll say get. So it's not auto completing, so because GraphQL auto complete, so you can just reload this. So now you'll say get, so it's auto completed, and do like this. So if you hit enter, so automatically say it's giving you the what data fields you need. So it's giving IUL is not defined. Okay, IUL. Okay, I have to put it up by string. Yeah, now it's better. Now if I hit it, okay, IUL. So see, we are getting name, age, college, but see, we are telling the response we should need. We need a name, age, college fields. Okay, but you'll say when we did hello and we hit it, so here we are not telling the response time we should get, because in hello response is always a string, so that's why we all return a string, because string will be a single string but object can be a multiple fields. So in get user we are telling we need name, age, college, but if you remove this response from get user, so you will be get an error. So it's automatically writing it, so you can just can't remove it here. Let me just check it. I think it should remove. Okay, it's automatically completed and can't do anything. So that's why we are telling which fields we need. So suppose we are getting name, age, college. So and if we need only college, name and age, so we'll do name and age and this name and age. So you can see we are responding whole thing, but here coming name and age only. That's the main point of GraphQL. So you just write your database query language here, like a user dot find all, like however you do it, and but the response come like this whenever you will fetch with the GraphQL. So suppose you want to get multiple users. This is a single object, like you have 100 of objects. So simple thing, let me just show you, and you will be like, okay, you will just do an array and copy this thing. Let me just let it be and make a new thing, say get users. We'll say get users, and here we'll say array of user. So this is and was an object, so now we'll say array of this object, and here we'll copy the same thing. I think we should just copy it, and here we'll say get users, and here we'll just write the array of objects, and we'll just copy this thing also. And here if I code 20, so here I was telling return an object, here I telling when get users will come return array of objects, and in solvers we make get users, and this is array of object, this is object 1 of the same type, and this is object 2. Now if we go to back and we reload it, now if we say get users, okay, now we define we want to name and age only. So see, every object in that array is giving name and age only. That's the beauty of GraphQL. So it's going inside every object and just returning the same thing. If I want only college and not these things, hit it. So only college is coming, college array object college 1, object college 2. So if I remove this return type whole, if I let me remove and check, so it's auto completing. So we are getting name age college. If we just remove this thing and hit it, so now it's showing error except expected name found this. So it's showing me like you didn't specify the field. So I told you now it will throw an error, so you have to specify fields. So here I'm telling I want name only, so we'll getting the name. So that's how you do it. So suppose you want to fetch some data and response back, okay, so you can just do it here. Or other thing, you want to do the mutation, like change the variable or something. So here we have to let me create a database. We'll say let database, this is my current database. Okay, so this is the way we like current database. And here we have to define type mutation. So we'll say type mutation and here we'll get a message and mutation type. So we'll say change, we'll say update. Okay, so suppose we are updating that database, and same here we'll receive a message, message message, that will be a string. So I'll receive a message that should be updated and it will be a string, and in response I'll give a string back. Okay, so here if I come okay, yeah, so if here I'll come and say what is the name, update. Okay, so here I'll say update, and we'll be getting arguments, and in response we'll change the database to args dot message. If it's confusing, please write from the first line and then you'll easily know. And we'll say return database. So what I'm doing, I'm telling there will be a mutation, I'll be getting a message argument which will be a string, and return type should be a string, and here the database is like a normal string. This is my current database. It will come here in the args, and we'll take the args dot message. It should be args dot message, and I'll update the database and return the database. Save it and go back towards it, and this time instead of query we'll say mutation. What type of mutation? Update. In update what we are giving? Message. What message? This is the updated message. Okay, so it will come here like same in this part update, then it will go to resolvers and we'll check for update and get the message and change the database. So this is the our database, normal let database, this is my current database, and return the database. Okay, so let me hit it. So this is the updated message or updated database. Let me just write it. So I am basically doing the change. So this is the updated message. So suppose I am returning a null here. Okay, it's not like like what I'm telling you, it's not only for mutation, or it's for query and mutation both. Suppose I am updation after returning null. Okay, okay, and here I have specified string. Okay, so what will happen? Okay, I have to save it, sorry. So it's still returning null, but I told you it should return string, whether here what wherever you are. When you told string, it should return string. So that's not a required part, but if you put an exclamation or whatever you call it, so now you are telling string is strictly required. Okay, now if I save it and go back, reload this and do the same thing, and now it will error, cannot return null for non-nullable mutation update. So if you make a required field, so it should return a string or whatever. If it's an object, so like this, so it should return an object. That will be a required part. So let me just change it to database. Okay, now suppose okay, now suppose you want to take up yeah, I think that's pretty much is needed for this. So you got how to update or create, like everything will be, you just need to mutate something like called as create, and same parameters you have to pass it, and this is the way you can just play with the GraphQL. So thank you guys for watching this video.